Yeah, you caught it.
And then that time, Baldwin able to hang on, and down goes Jeff.
Oh, one pitch hit in the air to right center field. It's going to hang up, and it is off the head of the center fielder. That's going to be a ground rule double. No, it's a home run. It's a home run for Tene Vijas. Oh, my. It hit the head of the center fielder and bounced so far, it went over the wall in right center field. And the umpire, I thought he was going to call it a ground rule double. He indicates home run. Wow. What a change of...
You're listening.
Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
With Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood.
close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters, the best Tuesday show that's sometimes on Wednesdays for no good reason. I'm Christian Bladt. With me, as always, is the great, the one, the only Mr. Eric Zane. How are you, sir?
No, never better. In fact, on Monday, I sent you a text, or was it yesterday? I sent you a text. I go, when is the show this week again?
Well, it's a great question, and I think a lot of people are wondering, which means that you care. Ohio Dave asked, what day is the show on now? Obviously, the show is on Tuesdays now. It's just that we're doing it on Wednesday for the second time in like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
but I told everybody
you had to sign your kids up for like zoo school or something like that.
LA Zoo Camp.
Okay, and so what is it this time? Fish Day, aquarium?
No, I told you last week that it's going to be name droppy, but it's the only name that I can drop. I had lunch with my buddy Dennis Miller and a friend of ours who's leaving LA forever. So,
is that a recent picture?
It's yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, he looks fantastic.
Yeah, I look like me, but Dennis looks great.
Well, you're young. He's like 90 years old, and he looks like he's fucking 50.
Well, somebody who doesn't look like he's 50 is our special guest. We are trying to class up this show for a change. And welcome back to the show for the first time in a while, the one, the only Blind Mike Geary. Hello, sir.
Zoo Camp.
Well, it's we're getting pretty dangerously close to banter, Mike. Active Anus says banter is strictly prohibited. This is your only warning. I know that Carl might actually strike this video on his own channel if we do too much banter, but you asked. It's a summer camp at the LA Zoo. My kids do it every year, and it's fun. But it's harder to get into than it's like harder to get than Taylor Swift tickets. It's very difficult. It's very competitive.
I didn't understand the concept. I didn't know if they were learning to be animals. I couldn't imagine what zoo camp. Well, I guess that makes sense.
They jack off animals.
Okay. No, that's the advanced course. You do that as an intern a little bit later. By the way, Active Anus earlier said BTH with the B team. We appreciate you being here with us. And Deb asked, is this a show without Carl? If that keeps you watching, yes. If you want Carl on the show, maybe he'll show up. We never know, but we appreciate it.
That was sad when I was listening to the intro, and I heard you still have, and sometimes Carl in there.
Yeah, I hated that from the the because I knew that was dangerous.
He was on in the beginning. He was on every week.
I'll say he was on once.
He was on not that long ago. He was on a few times, but
he's never coming back.
No, nor should he. He's got bigger fish to fry. The great new show you guys do, Dabbleverse Live. I was the first one crying in the aisles for the death of WATS, but I guess the people really wanted more Dabble talk, didn't they, Mike?
It's amazing how quick everyone forgets. Everyone was like, I'm going to hate this show. Fuck you. I miss Who Are These Socials? And then I haven't heard a peep about it in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, well, I think you forgot until I mentioned it. But I'm wondering, how's Solar doing? Where's Keat? I need to know all these things.
Well, part of what's sad about that show is that a lot of at least my favorites stopped doing things.
Well, especially Woke Dad. Once Woke Dad was out, I think the show was over. I think if Woke Dad was still doing it, Carl's like, well, maybe we do a segment on Dabbleverse Live that is Who Are These Socials.
At the very least, we would just do it on our own show, whatever it would have to be. Yeah, we would definitely be covering Woke Dad still. That was a big blow when he stepped away. But I hope he's doing well and spreading joy out there and wherever he is in New York.
Well, I hope he's being able to set people straight in Western New York who are, part of the, that aren't aware of the woke agenda, that he's out there spreading the good word.
Yes.
In a moment, we're going to talk about how April Fool's Day is incredibly lame and how April Fool's Day TV bits suck. I've never done an April Fool's bit. Easy, you were in radio a long time. You must have done something. You must have done some kind of bad April Fool's Day bit.
I did, and I still think this was a good one because we convinced the audience that if you were at a traffic light late at night and there was no one else around while you're waiting, the new voice-activated traffic system known as VATS, you could roll down your window and yell "turn green" and it would work. So then I'm in the deep South when this is going on, and all these hillbillies, I swear to God, hellfire is not working. And you're hearing him yell, turn green. So it was more like just a chance to fuck with these dumb hillbillies. And I thought it was great because that we had to let the cat out of the bag. Like the news was calling about it. It's like, these stupid people. Jesus.
All right, that one is actually kind of fun because you get to mess around with people. You know, I for a brief minute was thinking that we would have done one this year, where instead of doing Who Are These Broadcasters last week, we would have done Who Are These Socials because people would have missed it. But then, Mike, as you know, the potato jumped in and like 2 days later did another episode of Who Are These Socials, and you were on it. Whom are these socials? So it's probably better that I didn't try to do that. There's too many jingles from that show. I don't know what to do with it. You want to read some of these chats you're putting up, Easy?
Yeah, Hamilton says Easy's best prank was convincing his audience that his dick worked. Okay, all right, little bit close to home and 100% true, but fuck you. And Chad says Zane has never done anything funny ever. All right, thank you.
I have to disagree because I was on this show. You would have enjoyed this, Mike. Eric Zane showed his taint on our show. He pulled down his pants and pressed ham right up against the camera. And it's a good question. Why did you do it?
Well, I did it because I was disgusted with, I don't know, Christian just thought it'd be a good idea to have like a Republican and Democrat battle it out about politics on here. First, I acted like I wanted to hang myself, and then I decided I needed to show my asshole in order to get me through this stupid fucking bit that he was making everybody sit through. So you can see now it makes sense.
Were there no repercussions for this?
No.
Well, Carl had to immediately take the episode down, edit it out, and then it was fine. Yeah,
right. And he's since given up that type of safety valve behavior because now he gets struck every other day and bad things happen. He doesn't care anymore.
Right.
No,
and we have to pick up the pieces.
I didn't realize you couldn't show someone firing a gun. So I showed that a couple weeks ago and he edited that out.
Yeah,
so,
see, I didn't get in trouble. It was all
no,
Christian.
yeah, you don't get in trouble. But anyway, so listen, I think we've actually crossed into banter territory. And
I have one more question.
Yes, of course.
Is it a big segment on the show that you convince people your dick work? Is it like controversial?
No, I know. I have. I take this medicine for my very large prostate, and it's really decreased my ability to ejaculate, Mike.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I know it's awful.
The soldier stands at attention, but he doesn't throw up. He doesn't throw up New England clam chowder.
Yeah, and it's too bad because I love the taste of it, and it so I can't partake anymore.
Aren't you glad you joined us today, Mike?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot to know. The most important thing, as our buddy Rocco always says, money before funny. Easy, explain to people how super chats work, although up to this point they have not.
Yeah, if you want Christian to sign off with a horrific comment about various ethnic groups or whatever you want, just couch your words so that they get past the YouTube screeners or whatever the fuck it is, and attach a dollar amount to it, the highest dollar amount. Christian will attack Asians, Jews, his love of Hitler's friends, things like that. You can put that all in there.
I would say that this show is BTH, is the sort of thing. So whatever the highest dollar amount.
Right.
And we did get one of these member chats from the great Annie, review girl Annie, says, I love you boys. I'll see you in Vegas, Zane. I know you're coming just to see me again. So excited. Me, you, and Christian, going to be like fun on a bun. Well, in case anybody wants to buy a dozen tickets, today is the last day that I'll be able to tell you to go to hackamania.com. Use the promo code BEARS, because not only will you save 10%, you would actually necessitate Patrick Melton to have to buy a very expensive last-minute flight to Las Vegas from Grand Rapids. So we've been trying to get Eric Zane there, and Mike, we've sold about 4 or 5 tickets. So, on the one hand, it feels good, but we needed to sell 13, I think. So
is that an actual number? You have to sell 12 more or 13 more?
Yeah, I think we'd be safe if somebody bought a 12-pack of tickets right now at hackamania.com.
We'll get to work, folks.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate that. And also, you can go to hackamania.com and buy the pay-per-view live streaming and all of that. But anyway, that's all the things that we needed to know heading into the show. I mentioned I wanted to talk about April Fools, and late last night, I wrote to Doug from the Jingles department. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have an April Fool's jingle, but don't worry, Mike. I do now.
John and Chad just signed $1 million deal. Hughesy's speech just became understandable. Carl just tripled Christian's salary. And who are these broadcasters just got $5,100 super chats? April Fools!
Thank you, Doc. I appreciate that.
Time well spent.
Yeah. You can go ahead and read that, Easy.
Michael Pellerito says, can Easy ban chatters on this channel asking for a friend? I can. You better watch.
I can, but Carl doesn't like when we do it. It has to be really
right.
bad.
And besides, why would I ban chatters when they give money? Thank you.
Well,
by the way, love your singing. That's the guy who sang the Hook song. It's so good.
I did forget about that already. I was able to put it out of my mind, and because you brought it up, I want to make sure that Mike gets to hear Eric's friend, who's an artiste. He did a masterful version of Hook by Blues Traveler. I mean, now that I play it again. Okay, so April Fool's, just painful, terrible content. Over on the Today Show, Jenna Hagerman Bush, the daughter of the 43rd president of the United States, they decided to try and trick Willie Geist, and they walk in with a cake that they say, this bakery only makes one $20,000 cake every day.
$1,000 cake from Dream Bakery. It is all the rage right now on the internet. Only make one of these.
Is it really?
Okay, so they hand it to Jenna. Oh, you don't know where this is going, Mike. Wait till you hear.
Every single day that you can only get. And
oh my God! Oh! Drop the cake.
April Fool. Good job.
That was great acting.
Only after.
How do you feel about the patronizing? Good job.
So he doesn't even sell it like he believed it?
No, I think
he goes, April Fools.
Yeah. There is a little bit of a jump cut there, but yeah, he's just like, all right, I need to make sure you all know that I know. And they realized that, like, they'd kept the what they call in TV the entire A block. The entire first segment was cleared for this. So all right, we'll talk about it a little more.
You went down.
I did get it all over my shoes. I really committed. The fall was real.
Yeah, that fall was
You slipped on the icing.
But we tried to trick Willie.
I was like, it's a crazy world out there.
Yeah.
Someone's going to buy that for their wedding. Maybe it's real. I didn't know why they'd send us one for free. Can we see that one more time? Jenna!
You see Jenna fall down.
Oh, she went down. Oh.
Okay, so Easy, how would you rank that on the
horrible? They should have gone Jock, Opie, and Anthony and said that they found Savannah's mom.
That would have been good.
That would have been the greatest April Fool's joke of all time. You know what? This would be a very different segment.
Hey, look, she's here.
That would have been fun.
That would have been a very different segment.
I think there's also a big difference between a prank and a lie. Like if there was a cake place that Willie Geist has always dreamed of eating at, and they were like, "We got your favorite cake here," and then they drop it. Like that's a prank. Yes. To make up a thing and be like, "Hey, there's like if someone told me, hey, there's a place that makes $20,000 cakes, they make one a day," I'd go, "Okay." And then if they go, "Nah, I'm kidding, it doesn't exist," I'd be like, "You lied. You didn't prank me. Like you just lied. I don't understand."
Yeah, I hope it felt good to mislead me. All right, this is a local station in Dallas, Fort Worth, but the Sorcerer comes in and says, is BTH a Star Wars podcast? Bantas took Han. Carl's laughing really hard right now. You're just going to have to take my word for it, but and I'm not lying. I kind of like it. So this is Dallas, Fort Worth. They decide, okay, we are going to trick the weather guy.
Thank you for bringing
You're
this.
welcome.
Delicious.
Oh my God. He's presented with donuts.
Why are you guys zooming on me like that? That's not fair.
Is this healthy too?
How is it? In moderation.
It's great.
It's healthy in moderation. Great.
Okay, so they tell him that one of the ladies there at the station made these donuts, and he's like, "Oh, this is great,
fantastic."
So only eat one.
What was that, Mike?
Are they all dessert related? Why do they all have to do?
These are two dessert related. There's
all pastry morning show pranks.
Yeah, we'll move on from desserts in a moment.
That was great. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I didn't eat it just all. I mean, I'll finish it here.
I think you should be a little.
Well, they're zooming in on me while I'm stuffing my face.
So he doesn't notice anything as the what it tells us on the screen, and they expected a very different reaction. So now, the best comedy is the comedy you have to explain why it's supposed to be. So he takes a big bite, no idea. He's like, okay, this is pretty good. Yeah, he's like, thank you for serving me this donut first thing in the morning. Or messy on the plate there. He's like,
Is it? What? I didn't hear it.
That is ranch dressing.
So the donut was filled with ranch dressing. And, now again, you want to talk about shock jock. If it was filled with, semen donations that may or may not have come from homeless people, we don't know if there was HIV in it. Okay, now we're talking about a bit.
Yeah.
So he's dabbing off his mouth. What? Listen to how hard the angle is.
I knew it tasted like
He's like, I'll eat that. Yanked him off, checking it.
The lady comes over. Yeah. So he's just like, okay. So
they come to me early before our morning meeting and say, hey, you guys are going to get some donuts on the set. One of them is going to be stuffed with ranch dressing. I said, I know you're not giving it to me.
Okay.
Yeah, which that's what Mike would say. Yeah,
That's
I know you're
task.
not giving that to me. Yeah.
You ain't giving it to Greg. I didn't even think about Erica Pothang over there. I didn't even think about Erica Marielle either. But naturally,
I got it.
Why did this man proceed to bust down
They
donut?
kept looking at me like he's going to have a reaction and notice that there was ranch dressing in this. And to be honest, I didn't right off the rip. I was like, this kind of tastes funny. But they said Morgan made them, so I was like, I don't want to insult her cooking if she meant.
Okay, so we can move on from the clip in a moment, but I don't believe that he ever noticed. He just feels like, okay, now they're telling me I'm stupid for eating a ranch donut. But this is a very skinny man. This isn't like if I ate a ranch donut and said, hey, can I have a second one, please?
Well, a factor I feel like they're missing, like they're acting like, oh my God, can you believe it? Ranch is food.
Okay, that's fair.
It's not like, oh my God, you didn't like it's if you gave me a sandwich with ranch in it, I wouldn't be like, you gave me what? Like, maybe it was enjoyable. It's unusual for a donut, but it's not like, oh my God.
It wasn't filled with Elmer's glue.
Look,
Yeah,
I'm not buying the fact that you have enhanced taste because you're blind, but that's ridiculous to say. If I have a donut with ranch in it, 100% I'm going to go, I'm expecting sweet and I get fucking ranch, which is his own flavor. No, fuck you.
They do. They do a lot of shit to donuts now. Is my point.
That's true. There are some crazy.
I don't know that it warranted like a gun in the mouth because he ate ranch. I don't know what was he supposed to do.
Well, obviously, there's always April Fool's Day fun at a live sporting event, but it's not always fun, as the Washington Wizards found out.
Wizards sent the internet on fire, but it had nothing to do with basketball. It was an April Fool's Day prank. It looked like it was halftime of the game, and they brought some dude down from the audience to the court, put a blindfold on him, and said, listen, if you make this, you win 10 grand. Only he didn't make it, and then they still pretended like he won the money. He had no idea because of the blindfold, right? So then they make him watch it as he's holding his big check and watch as he doesn't even hit the backboard. At the time, it looked really sad, like, wow, they just pranked this guy.
Okay, so this sounds hysterical, right? I mean, this guy's doing a great job explaining it. We see a sort of a postage stamp size version of the video. We're kind of getting all of it. I mean, it seems like it's at least in good fun. Easy, you do a lot of live sports announcing at probably places that have bigger attendance than the Washington Wizards. But if somebody ran this by you, would you say like, yeah, this is funny. We'll make this guy think he won a lot of money, and then we'll laugh when we tell him, actually, you're just a poor loser.
Yes, that absolutely, provided you could get the right people that are trying to carry out the bit.
Yeah.
That are actually doing a good job to sell it, you know?
The Wizards had to explain themselves.
The only thing that's really important to know about this, it was all a joke. The people on the court, the guy that took the shot, they were all in on it. The Wizards later came out and said, we apologize if we misled our fans. I like to think they don't even need to apologize. We don't have to get angry about everything on the internet all the time, especially on April Fool's Day, man.
I don't know why this guy who sounds like a young Scotty Farrell feels like he needs to take this stand. No, it's I can understand. Like if you were watching this in the stand, you'd be like, "Oh, I feel really bad for that guy." I don't know. Am I just an old softy, Mike? I should toughen up.
It's just ridiculous that people in the first place were convinced that this whole thing was real when it wasn't, because it was so poorly done. It was obvious that it was fake. And only an idiot would believe that this was real. And then another double that to complain about it. Who gives a shit about this guy? Even if it is real, fuck him. Who cares?
I like a guy in like local news or whatever that takes the softest cancel culture stance of all time. Like, can't we get away with anything anymore? Like, I'm the who gives a fuck story.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he probably does this for everything. You know, it's like, or
nothing, like nothing that actually matters.
Right,
like,
that's kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what do you think about players kneeling during the national anthem? No, I don't even have an opinion. But that April Fool's Day stuff, you go ahead, read from our friend, the one pun who I believe.
Yeah, I don't get it. Zane's favorite is the Washington Grand Wizards. I don't think they're known as that. They're known.
No,
as
I don't think that's Zane's favorite. I think that might be Chad's missing upper lip.
Okay,
perhaps Kumia. Oh my gosh, look who's in the chat. A celebrity, Tom Myers, who we'll be talking about in a little bit. Eric lives in Michigan. They just discovered icing on donuts. I don't know. I feel like in Michigan they invented icing on donuts.
That's not even a joke, Tom.
Nice
if
one,
you keep with that shit, I'm gonna give up on the. I'm gonna take back the nice things I said about you.
No, we're looking forward to talking about Tom in a moment. I have one last April Fool's Day. And EZ, you know our friend Carissa Codell over there in the Ozarks in Missouri. She's the one who uses her big announcer voice to read insults that people leave on their Facebook page.
That's the fluffy chick, right?
Yeah, Mike, the most important thing to know is she's a big girl. And it's a lot of comments that are variations on baby got back, things like that, you know. But she wanted to let us know that this was last Wednesday, April 1st. So the segment was going to be very different.
Damn girl, you look like an intelligent.
All right, so it says actually at the top, reading nice viewer comments in my news voice.
Damn girl, you look like an intelligent and talented news anchor. April Fools! I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh, she really got me on that. I can't.
Starting to dislike her, and she's so cute too. That's what's unfortunate.
Yeah, but don't worry, she goes back to the actual bit. And since we're here,
she's just fat with an average face. What's the big deal here? Asking the important questions. Okay. She's big enough to eat hay and pull a wagon. Important note though, can't stand her.
I mean, she's big enough to eat hay and pull a wagon. It's very funny. You know,
it is, but it's so incredible.
You know, this is much more clever than what I read on the WATP Discord or over on Reddit. You know, I mean, I think these people are really roasting her good, aren't they, Mike?
Well, I feel like her news, whatever she calls it, like the announcer voice, is not good enough for this bit. I've seen other female broadcasters do this, and it's kind of funny. She doesn't have the good pipes for this, really.
Well, I think it's probably
she's
because
young. I think she's got to develop it a all more.
It might be because
Zane's voice could do this, probably. You know what I mean? Like an announcer, a Dia Gravely, something like that.
All right, well, let's hear one more. Maybe she gets better at it. She's cracking herself up.
Thicker than an elephant ankle. Carissasaurus over here with big.
All right, Carissasaurus. See, the comments are great. I think, Mike, you might have actually finally punctured a hole in what the problem with the bit is. That somebody else should be reading it. Like whoever their, 60-year-old, chiseled news veteran who sits at the anchor desk, he should be the one reading. Carissa.
Maybe, yeah.
Carissasaurus over here.
Making her cry.
At least she's having a good time with it, though. There's some we would mention this on the Kirk Minahan show fairly frequently. Do you guys know who Julie DeCaro is?
I know that name for sure. Yeah,
she's
I do not.
She's like a Chicago female sports broadcaster.
Okay, yeah.
And there was a commercial for ESPN years ago. It's Julie DeCaro, Sarah Spain, I think, is in it. A couple other broads, and they're reading like these mean tweets and stuff like that. Like you think it's like the Jimmy Kimmel bit. Like they're gonna read mean tweets, but it's someone reading like, "Hey, fuck you, you cunt," and them going. But them seriously were like, "Oh, geez, I guess I'll have to think about that." Like it's just completely non-playful. So at least this girl's having fun with it.
Yeah. Oh, I probably shouldn't be down at the station as often, and I should see my children grow up. You're absolutely right. I'm gonna take a personal day tomorrow. We'll be right back. I'm gonna have to dig some of those up. I love that idea, even if Kirk has walked that territory before.
It's like I think it's like 10 years old, but yeah, you should be able to find it.
So, Mike, it's time for us to dive in what you were called in for. And I thought it was really important that we bring in the host of Why You Laughing and, of course, the Blind Mike Project. But if there's analysis of comedy happening, Mike Geary is who I usually turn to. And we want to talk about Rob Man. The Schneidmeister, making copies, Robster. And by the way, if all of that was unfunny and annoying, you're prepared for a segment about Rob Schneider. And let me shout out very quickly a YouTube channel called Good Cop, Rad Cop, because they had this performance in the clear. And there's a lot of videos where other people were commenting on it, but I wanted to just watch it. I don't care what Sam Sater thinks of it. So I wanted to see it. And Rob has, you're familiar, I'm sure, Mike, but I want everybody to know, Rob's kind of had this second coming as a conservative comic. And he somehow managed to disprove the idea that, how you vote doesn't change whether or not you're funny. He was at the Conservative Political Action Conference in Austin. And I don't know if I would call this a comedy set, but he's a comedian and he takes the stage. Have either of you guys seen any of this yet?
I think I have, yeah.
Okay.
I saw one joke and it was uncomfortable.
Well, I did my best to truncate it, but he was on stage for 8 minutes. I have a lot of those minutes, but let's start at the part that makes the most sense. This is how Rob Schneider takes the stage.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Oh, so they got a new woman on The View. Have you heard? Jimmy Kimmel is going to join the cast.
He hits the ground running, and
I think you're fine. That's fine at that
no,
point.
The joke itself is fine.
Yeah,
he hasn't stopped walking. He's kind of still going up the stairs. Mike, I think there's something to be said for like, all right, let me just punch him right in the ribs with something right away, right?
I'm surprised that doesn't hit harder.
Yeah,
it was quiet. I mean? It was too quiet.
Yeah, like I'm surprised at that type of play. Because there's a certain group of people where if you say hey, fuck Kimmel, fuck The View, they're gonna laugh. It doesn't matter how good the joke is. So I'm surprised that didn't hit harder there, actually.
I think that he probably knew that was one of his best jokes. He knew the room, so he's like, all right, yeah, this is probably going to hit hard. So I think it was smart to try that, but you heard how it went over.
How are you? Thank you so much for being out here. I appreciate it. We'll tell you, something happened where I was able to get lunch. I just got off the plane from Europe, and we went out to a place here in town in Dallas. And the waiter was a little nervous. And I said to him, and he's a Mexican guy. Oh. And I said, are you okay? And he said, Mr. Schneider, I'm just a little nervous because I am not here legally. And I'm afraid that ICE is going to take me back to Mexico. And I felt like, wow, that's awful. Because these are the people that we want in this country. People are working really hard. Then he completely screwed up my lunch and was like, get this guy out of here. You can't screw up lunch. That's the most important meal of the day.
Did the tag help at all that he said you can't screw up lunch? It's the most important meal of the day. I don't think he was prepared to have to say that, but he needed to fill the silence with something.
Yeah, that seemed like a nervous because it's not it's not, but it's also not such a controversial meal that the joke applies. So yeah, that did seem like nervous energy, and that's not a bad
Yeah.
Like the idea of it is not terrible. You
Again,
know?
for that room, it's perfectly fine. And I think he was expecting more. You seem to have a thought, Easy.
I wonder if this is now who was it Hinchcliffe that bombed at the convention?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on who you asked, but yes, that was
I think
in the room. Tony Hinchcliffe, bombed. That was at Madison Square Garden. It was like the week before the election, and
right.
All's well that ends well, right, Mike?
But my point is, you have to. I mean, if you're going to do a comedy special, there's a lot to things like miking the audience. There's so much at stake. If you're counting on just that mic that guy is holding to pick up responses, it doesn't always work. I mean, come on. Sometimes it just sounds like these jokes are laying flat, and they might not be. They might actually be better than what they actually seem when you watch it on an internet video. You know?
Yeah.
There definitely might be some of that, and there's also at an event like this. I don't know what the lineup is, like who's speaking at this thing, but often like people are programmed to just sit and listen. You know what I mean? Like they're almost being polite. Like I hear comedians talk about that a lot when they do live podcasts, where people are so used to just listening to them that like they'll just sit there and maybe like breathe out their you know, not like real laughter, but like they're enjoying the show. So there might be an element that this is just not like a comedy room. So it seems like he's bombing harder than he is.
So do you think that's what was happening at the recent live show that the Golden Hour did at the Vulcan in Austin, that people were just so interested they were listening? Or
yeah. I think
that's probably what that was. I know. I didn't bring you on to talk bad about your boy Brendan Schaub. I would never do that.
I appreciate it.
All right, so he's like, okay, well, let's stay with the Mexican content.
He's and by the way, I'm defending Rob Schneider, but I also think he's a like complete douchebag. Like he was on. Speaking of Hinch, he was on the last Netflix episode of Kill Tony that they did.
Okay,
and they had Joe Rogan come out and give Rob Schneider like guest of the year or something like that.
Oh,
it's like Tony's show. Like Tony is giving him that award.
Yeah.
And Rob Schneider proceeded to just blow Joe Rogan. Basically, he might as well have said, like, I'm begging you to let me on your show. Like, that's essentially what it was. It was just him kissing Rogan's ass. It was the most groveling thing. So I'm no Schneider fan.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he's in the best environment for comedy necessarily.
I come down on the safe stance on Rob Schneider that Deuce Bigalow won, got some laughs. Deuce Bigalow, male gigolo, no thank you. I can't. It's
Sure.
so that's the line of demarcation. All right, let's let him dip back into his Mexican chunk.
My favorite my favorite comedy now is Instagram. Mexican guys crying. Have you seen that? It's pretty funny.
It sounds funny.
Please, El Presidente Trump, don't take my mother-in-law back to Mexico. She's not here legally, please. Her name is Maria Reyes Gonzalez. She lives at 311 Nelson Avenue. She's 4'11", 293 pounds. She's there right now. I'll help you pack her shit.
So I think he threw a swear word in there because, again, it was the smattering. Now, you tell me, Mike, is that an old joke, or maybe I've just heard Rob Schneider tell it before? Maybe I've seen a clip where he said, but I feel like that's a pretty old joke.
I mean, I don't even know that specifically is an old joke, but it's an old, I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's like fill in the blank type of comedy. Like it's a version of some kind of old joke. You know what I mean?
You know what it is? It's take my mother-in-law, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see the fallout from that.
So anyway, I will say,
So anyway,
I do not believe that Somalia is sending us their best.
Okay, so we really stuck it to the Mexicans. Now let's move on to the Somalians. And he did sort of a variation on the what else?
Anyway,
we're not getting the engineers, the doctors, the lawyers. If they have any in Somalia, we're not getting any. We seem to be getting the not very good ones. Pirates, I know. And who?
So somebody must have said pirates, I guess. But I also think nobody
that just
said
ended.
pirates.
That just stopped. There was
Yeah.
a long pause. His energy is weird.
Yeah.
His posture's annoying. He's just kind of like, there's something about the energy is off in the room and on stage. Everything here is weird.
There are theories that he helped himself to non-prescription medication prior to this.
Yeah.
Who wants their babies babysat by Somalian people? I mean, didn't anybody see Captain Phillips with Tom Hanks? They're pirates. Not saying all, most. Not saying all.
I mean,
the movie was about babysitters, to be fair. The analogy doesn't really stick.
No, that's true. Yeah.
I think that another person may have been able to make these jokes funnier because I think that considering where he's at in the room, these jokes should be landing harder than they are.
Yeah, I do think, to Mike's point, I believe he's followed by not another comedian. I think that this was like before, something else happened.
A lecture or something.
Yeah, a lecture of some kind. Oh my gosh. The one pun, absolutely. Why don't you read those two magic words, Eric Zane?
Please clap.
Thank you. Please clap. I force applause breaks.
I mean, obviously, that if you're invoking the great Chad Zumach, and we might as well go with our other one.
Please clap.
It's a little more appropriate to have Jeb Bush. And I don't need you flirting with Lucy Tightbox on the screen.
She's so hot.
Yeah, I'm going to hang out with her this weekend.
She says, hi, Z.
Yeah, I know. We're trying to do a show. All right. I'm pretty sure there's a little more Somali content.
That just goes to show you what an incredible country that we live in. That people can come over here. They don't even have to be legal. From Somalia, they can just come over here, marry their brother, and then open up a Leering Center. And the next thing you know, now it's incredible. How rich is this country?
You stop.
Yeah. He definitely stopped.
He didn't finish the joke.
Because I think the next thing you know is supposed to get a laugh. Like we were supposed to fill it in ourselves or something.
I mean, that's the, in this room, that's what everybody says about Representative Ilhan Omar from Minnesota, that she married her brother. I think he felt like, all right, people are going to be up on all of these references. But it did fall a little flat. But it's all right. Rob's, he's a pro. He's been at this, 35 years.
Where Somalians could be stealing billions of dollars from us, and we don't even notice. How incredible is that? Can you imagine you can have $100,000 in your pocket and it just goes missing? You go, oh, I don't know. I got another 100,000 over here. This is going to sound terrible, maybe a little racist. So I won't say it because you guys are all filming this.
So I want to know what he stopped himself from saying, because I'm going to bet that would have gotten the biggest laugh of the afternoon.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you compared it to Hinchcliffe's set earlier, where
Right.
I think Hinchcliffe is a better example of a guy who it sounded like he was bombing, but that's like his act, and he was selling it in a comedy room. It might have done better. He like, I don't know if he doesn't want to be there or he's fucked up or what the deal is, but he's not selling any of these.
No, he's not. Like Tony stayed to the way he does things, his delivery, his style. It was as bold as it always is, and he didn't let a weird reaction slow him down. Schneider, I think, whether he's getting a good reaction or not, I think he's going to act like a moron like he is throughout this entire thing.
I'm not at all shocked that he just got off a plane from Europe. You know what, Rob, that tracks. Out of everything you've said, I find that to be the most believable. Oh my gosh, Hamilton Burger, hey, Z, 2 Canuck bucks to say Kaylee loves you.
And that came to us because she said, I can't even send my love through a super chat. So that was very sweet.
Wow.
And she thanks him. So we have a lot of things going on here. Also, Mike is back. And Mike says, Stuttering John does better stand-up than this guy. Actually, yes.
It goes over better, absolutely. Even when it's not just a room full of Dabbleverse people. Even when it's a bunch of uninitiated, a bunch of rubes out in the wild can still chuckle at a couple of John jokes. But, Schneider wants to talk about the Bible. We're all familiar with the Bible. I don't want to ask anybody their favorite book in the Bible. I understand that that's very personal, but Rob wants to talk about it.
Chinese Bible that the government of China puts in. You know, the famous biblical quote of Jesus when he goes, they're about to stone this woman. And Jesus says, those who have committed no sin cast the first stone. And so they all drop their stones. In the Chinese communist version. After Jesus says, "Ye who has not sinned, cast the first stone." After that, in the Chinese version, Jesus kills her himself. It's incredible.
Oh, that took a while.
And we see the room of people now. It's not empty. And I don't quite know what he was trying to do there. This is the conservative political action conference might not be the best place to take your joke, even if you're using it to slam the Chinese. Oh, but Jesus killed her. Jesus isn't a serial killer, right?
It does seem like a lot of almost like every other ethnicity is shit, right? Like the joke is it's not like playing on racial humor or stereotypes. It's like, what if we killed fucking Chinese people and Somalis? Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. And we can see on this freeze frame on the far right, there's a guy in what looks like a blue Yankees away jersey that says Trump 45. So this is a room that wants to laugh. And Rob, I think, in his arsenal could put together material that this crowd would be like, oh, all right, I enjoyed that. So I don't quite know why it's not working. It's because it's not funny. But he's going to go after Bill Gates. And go ahead. If there's a super chat, money before funny, please.
American Cupcake says, Rob, I paid full price for this ticket to laugh, not to be lectured to. Signed every person in the crowd. Yeah. Also, Christian, see you this weekend. Hashtag Hackamania.
Promo code Bears, and it'll be great to see you again, American Cupcake. All right. Go ahead,
does
Mike,
walk that line, though, Rob Schneider, where it's like, I shouldn't say he does walk the line. Like he attempts to walk this line where he wants to be this silly, ridiculous. He'll do the wacky voices and have these off-colored jokes, but also he wants to tell you how smart he is. He's one of these guys where it's like he'll cite these statutes and like reference other people's information that like is an attempt to make himself seem smarter. So he wants you to know how smart he is while also doing dumb humor. It's a mix he hasn't really mastered.
He really had that Bible verse down. He clearly had committed that.
That's a great, exactly. Like he doesn't give a fuck enough to actually make himself look smart.
All right, this room will probably appreciate him sticking it to Bill Gates.
Gates, it came out that Jeffrey Epstein said in those papers that he's a very good source, by the way. I think a very believable source, Jeffrey Epstein.
Last week, Mike, we played a clip where the organizer of this event was trying to rile up the troops and saying why they needed to hold on to the House and the Senate because they didn't want President Trump to be impeached. And in the clip, he said, who wants an impeachment hearing? And everybody started clapping. And he's like, no. This is what so Epstein is really a very touchy topic for this room. This is an interesting moment. And, Rob probably didn't see that. But so here he is talking about wading into Epstein. But I think we've heard this story about Bill Gates asking Jeffrey Epstein for some medication to clear up a venereal disease he got from a Russian lady of the evening.
The Bill Gates apparently got STDs from Russian hookers too. Yeah, the guy yells it over there. And then he tried to get Jeffrey Epstein to get him some antibiotics so he could sneak them into his wife. Now that's terrible, but at least he had a plan.
By the way, now this is about 5 minutes into the set. You hear people actively talking, and they're not being quiet about it.
It's almost an announcement being made.
It's not like another show is happening across the room. Whatever.
Don't worry, this is about to be over. Also, in the lobby, we have donuts filled with ranch dressing. In case anybody wants that.
Hackamania, promo code Bears.
Yes, exactly.
A lot of guys don't even have a plan. A lot of guys will go, I don't know how you got it. Maybe at Pilates. They never clean those things down over there, Those yoga pants, viruses can go right up your hoo-hoo. You never know. Awesome. But women are too smart for that kind of stuff, guys. Women will never fall for that. No matter how,
Oh, and every time they show the wide shot and you see how close those people are, that means he's actually able to see their faces draining in color as he looks at them.
Just nothing but deadpan, stone cold. Whatever's coming up next is what they're all here for.
Is that Christy Nome in the cowboy hat? Is she attending after her husband was seen with the fake titties?
I do believe that's her husband. Yeah, because it's
okay.
A pink shirt.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see how he can recover from that moment.
How clever you are. Honey, I just made you a new smoothie. Are you trying to sneak antibiotics into me because you got STDs from Russian hookers? That's how smart they are. So let me think what else I can say.
Oh, no.
It's kind of distracting up here.
And I love it. He's got a book, and he's like, it's kind of distracting up here. Listen, somewhere in there was probably a bit. If he's like, oh, women are so smart. They're like, wait a minute, are you giving me a smoothie because you got an STD from a Russian hooker? But I mean, it was like 90 seconds before we got there, Mike.
He's again kind of walking this weird line where, like, I feel bad for him because I don't think he's in a room for comedy, but he's giving me nothing to defend here. He's not. He doesn't seem to be trying at all. So like, the bomb has to be at least partially on him.
And the fact that as that joke was winding down, he turned to the stool where he has an open notepad of jokes.
Yeah,
and he looks down at it. What else can I do here? I've seen a comic do this once or twice, and I was always amazed at how poor that is. It's like, I don't understand how you couldn't at least write it on your hand and sneak a peek.
A lot of times when they do that, they let you know, hey, I'm working out on some new stuff.
But this is not a place. You don't go to the symposium for Republicans to work on material.
That's true. That's a great point. This is mercifully my final clip here. And you know that it's going well when you hear the catchphrase you're known for shouted out at you.
No. I can do it. You can do it.
Okay, so somebody yelled the "you can do it" that he does in all the Sandler movies. And he gives it to him. That's smart. Not be like, oh, yeah, we'll do that at the end. So he does it. He gives it to him.
Thank you. Well, are we going to have... is Andrew Doyle here, and we're gonna have a little talk, and we're gonna ask some questions for people, have a little discussion. Do you guys want to do that now?
Please? Is Andrew Doyle anywhere near here?
No. Go on for another 30.
Can you get a helicopter and fly him to the stage?
Andrew here?
Someone throws
him a
noose.
Do that, or are we gonna do that after? We'll do it after. So what's gonna happen now? Oh, you got music next.
Good.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
You can do it.
Okay, and so then, and you know it's good because 20 seconds after the last time.
What's going to happen now? Oh, you got music next. You can do it. I already did it. You did it. Hi. And anyway, so let me see if I have something that I wanted to tell you.
She's looking at the notes again.
Something I wanted to tell you.
He licks his fingers. He's like, let me see what else. I gotta have something. There's got to be some gold in this book, Jerry.
That was important. Oh, I'm going to come back up here with a couple of guys, and we'll go over some of the stuff that's happening in the country, and what we need to work on as a next. So who's going to come up and do some?
I think you covered it.
Who is
you got to
it?
get rid of the Somalis, get rid of the Mexicans,
next?
kill the Chinese.
Good.
John Mellis. What's that? All right, I'm going to sing for you. So who's? No, I will. You guys come
biggest
up here.
pop of
We're
the
gonna
night,
have music,
right there.
and then I'm going to come back up, and that's what the rumor I just heard.
The biggest
and then,
pop.
So you guys stick around
of
for
the
a little
night
bit,
was that somebody else
and I'll
would
come
be
back
coming
up,
on
and
stage.
we'll do some more.
John Miller.
All right.
You did awesome. You did so great.
Listen, it would have helped if we had maybe had just one joke. It's like, all right, he came on strong with the Kimmel joke. Maybe he was thinking he should have saved it for the end, whatever, something. But instead, he's like, okay, so yeah, I'll be back with some other people.
Also, what a waste by this event. Like these people seem to think they need comedy. Like, a little levity will break things up. No one wants comedy there. Like no one's looking for that in this setting. Rob Schneider doesn't want to be there, and the amount that I'm sure they had to pay him to get him there, it can't be cheap. So they just threw away money for 7 minutes of him looking at his grocery list or whatever the fuck he was doing.
Or Mike, you didn't hear he was coming back with some other people, and they were going to talk about what's going on in the country.
I've always wanted to hear him with John Mellis. I wonder what those two, that clash of ideas would be like.
Yeah.
Was this similar to like whenever wasn't there like a and it might still be going on where like a metal band would be playing and then a comic would come on beforehand, like Craig Gass.
Well,
crack jokes with all these metalheads.
Well, our buddies Craig Gass and Don Jameson do that. Jim Brewer like toured with Metallica,
and that always works, right? That's always good.
You gotta figure it out, but yeah, and I mean Jameson does like hardcore like death metal bands, so you gotta
have the right personality. Like Big J Okerson toured with Korn, I think, but like. Again, Rob Schneider doing that, it would not work.
I wouldn't put, as funny as he is, I wouldn't put Brian Regan on before Megadeth. I don't know that would necessarily.
The guy with the puppets? Is that
no, that's
you're thinking of Jeff Dunham.
You're thinking of Jeff Dunham. Well, listen, we're talking about all the names in comedy, and we have some news.
Well, can I give you, before you go there, can I give you one Rob Schneider bit that I think everyone should check out that I always try to promote? I don't think you could play it on this show if you're able to give it a try. But like, so he has a Netflix special years ago, and his daughter is Elle King. Do you know that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's like a very good singer, very unique voice, like very talented. And at the end of his Netflix special, he says, "I'm going to bring out my daughter Elle King, who he has like kind of a rocky relationship." After this, she slammed him and said he was a horrible father. I don't know if this contributed to it or not. But he brings out his daughter, I assume trying to repair his relationship or whatever. And you think like, this is kind of cringy. Is Elle King going to sing at the end of this comedy special? No. Much worse. Elle King is going to stand there while Rob Schneider sings a serious song to her.
Yes.
It is the cringiest end to a comedy special maybe ever. It rivals Brian Callen's False Gods. It is in the top 2 worst endings to a comedy special I've ever seen. It's delightful. I recommend everyone go watch it.
I believe Shuli used to play that when it was just a podcast, because I've heard that. I think because it's a Netflix special,
you'll have trouble. Yeah,
but the next time we end up banished to Rumble, I'll keep that.
Next time, Carl. So next week we'll play it.
Well, something might happen at Hackabania. So listen, we're talking about all the greats in comedy, and I want us to talk about a friend of the show, a mutual friend with Blind Mike. And of course, I'm talking great Tom Myers, who, unfortunately, if you follow Tom Myers like I do, you realize that Tom recently had an injury. Easy, describe what we're looking at here. This is Tom's foot, but looks like there might be trouble in paradise.
Yeah, it looks like Tom posted a picture of his leg out, elevated. The crutches are in the pic, and he's got ice on it.
Well, let's find out what happened to our buddy Tom Myers.
Some of you might know I suffered a little injury. Basically, I had a mishap when I forgot where one of my cat's toys was, and I was rushing around the house without shoes, and I slammed my foot onto one of them. And like, thankfully, like it was
a barbell.
It was a cat toy. This is like a little squeaky toy.
Bruised, nothing broken. It was literally the best possible scenario for someone my age. Like, I'm 43, so like I basically did something stupid. Like of all the stupid shit that I've done, like as a road comic, all the jokes that I've told, especially, amazingly, I've always escaped injury.
So. And we're glad Tom's doing all right. We'll find out the extent, but I'm not quite sure what would have happened on the road. I don't know if he travels with his cat toys. And Tom,
no. Tom's saying, I believe, if Tom's still in the chat, he can correct me. Yes. I believe what he's saying is a lot of his material is so volatile and he touches on such edgy subjects that like inevitably someone's going to throw a bottle at him or kick his ass after the show or something like that. Like he causes mayhem out on the road. I think
he didn't strike me as a mayhem guy.
Yeah, big mayhem guy. I've seen
you drove down to see him live in Havre de Grace, Maryland, unless I'm mistaken.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. He was with Dat Fan and Friends. I believe that Tom was part of the and Friends, and
he was. For my money, it should have been called Tom Myers and Friends.
Yeah, I think we all agree with that. And by the way, Tom Myers says Mike nails it as always. So
Can we back up? Hold on a minute. I have cats, and the cat and the toys are little soft mice and maybe a little floofy thing that looks like a bird. None of those things can cause an injury. What's going on here? What does this cat play with? That
I was a little confused by that myself. I didn't quite understand what he did.
So is he lying or what's going on here?
No, I don't. I mean, if you're gonna lie, are you gonna lie that you tripped over cat toys?
I don't know what he's
doing. Give him a little
said
bit.
The quote was, "I smashed my foot into it." If I smash my foot into my cat's toys, the toy goes flying because it's a cat toy.
But if you smush it with your foot and it twists forward and it bends,
he didn't say that though.
Well, let's see.
So, it is a little bit galling to me that I suffered an injury at 43 that could have killed somebody twice my age, basically.
So it sounds like it's more gruesome, but the panel is really going to give Tom the business. And by the way, I think that the panel is the exact same collection of when Eric Zane and I were on Tom Myers versus the Rest of the World back in October.
Okay.
Mike, I know that might be one of your favorite episodes. I certainly know it's Vinnie Paulino's favorite episode of Tom Myers versus the Rest of the World. And Big Red Tower says Tom's cat plays with engine blocks.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
But let's hear Tom get the business from his co-hosts.
Oh boy,
I think we're focused on the wrong thing. That you tripped over a cat's toy.
Okay.
Tom, don't take this from that.
I think that's more the reflection of your age, right there. I'm not judging because I'm there too. I get it. I'm just saying, let's call facts facts.
What were your thoughts, Mike? Are they being a little harsh to our buddy Tom?
Tom should tell this lippy cunt to stop running his mouth. No, this is the host of the show. You're gonna treat him like that?
That we're friends with that woman. That's either Polite Kitty or I forget. Yeah, it's one of the two.
Seriously, you can't come in here and wreck our relationships, Mike.
Yeah.
Polite Kitty is not so polite here. I didn't care.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I think that might be Nicole actually. But if that is Polite Kitty, she's gonna have to change her name. All right. So how's Tom getting around?
Nifty little cane right here. It has a little this little loop around it, so I can wrap it around my wrist and just kind of bring it right to me, so I can hold stuff and still have the cane with me.
So I heard this and I said, Tom, you need to do service for all of us, and can you show off the cane? And don't worry, he just yesterday posted this on Instagram.
Love about this thing though, and this is like a cool new toy I've been playing with, is it has this little snap right here, so I do a lot of stuff with one hand. I get a lot of practice. Hey now, so
I mean,
I know what he's saying.
Anytime you can put a jerk off joke in there,
That's
it's always
dirty.
good. That's the kind of show we do over here.
He's
Mike,
naughty.
I know projects a little classier than that, but that's
unspeakably between you two and Polite Kitty. This is crass.
Yeah, what a bunch of fucking animals over there.
basically I just unsnap this right here.
All right, he's going to show us how it works.
And then I take this, boom, comes apart like that.
He's showing us the cane.
Handy little loop
Now,
right here.
Keep in mind, I asked him to show off the cane. Okay, so this is literally because I said, "Hey, Tom, show us how the cane works."
I think he's got to paint that deck this summer.
And there we go. This is how I've been walking the last month. How long am I going to need this thing? I have no idea. But, yeah, that's it.
Okay, so that's not it, because I had questions. If you guys both know me long enough to know that I am an intrepid reporter, and I wanted answers to a number of these things. So I did a message with Tom yesterday, and I asked him, how are you today? And he said, doing better. I'm 95%, give or take, recovered. It happened a month ago, and feet are pretty tricky, so it will take a bit. How restricted were you by this injury? No fractures, thankfully. Just bruised. The foot needs to be wrapped in a bandage, and because I still can't fit it into a shoe without discomfort, I need to wear an orthopedic shoe and walk around with a cane until I'm fully healed. So this
took quite a toll on him.
Yeah.
It's quite a toy. It was a cat toy. Everybody knows how much damage a cat toy can do to a foot.
Has he shown this toy off at all? Has he?
No, because it doesn't exist. He doesn't even have a cat. It's all a fucking lie, is what it is.
Why are you talking about our friend Tom like that? That's easy. I don't
know
like
what
this
is.
turn.
Well, because I feel like I'm being lied to, Christian.
Okay.
I get that every week from you when you tell me when the show's gonna what day it's gonna happen, then you change your fucking mind. This is the same thing.
That's actually what we should change the theme song to. Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays. We'll get rid of sometimes Carl. It'll just be Wednesdays.
I'm frustrated with Tom here. This is can you please just be honest with the audience?
Well, I asked the question, have you considered doing a GoFundMe like Stuttering John after he broke his arm?
That's smart.
And Tom's response was, I am incensed that you would think I would grift like SJ by doing a GoFundMe. Furthermore, I would never use my injury by suggesting that anyone purchase a membership to my Patreon or my newly monetized YouTube channel, sending a super chat or super sticker during one of my premieres live streams, or using one of the payment options, which you can all find that on Tom's social media. So I appreciate getting the inside scoop, but it just shows that life's short and we need to live every moment to the fullest, because you never know, Mike. All of a sudden there's a cat toy in front of you and you're walking around with a cane.
Oh, believe you me, I'm susceptible to stepping on all kinds of toys.
You gotta be careful around there. That's serious business. Somebody leaves shit lying around the Blind Mike house. Come on now.
Yes, it's very, very difficult. The skirt plays all kinds of tricks on me. Cat toys, dog toys, all sorts of things that could hobble me.
I do have a recipe for ranch-filled donuts that I might send her.
We'll see how I react. Yeah. See if I'm unfazed.
Yeah. So that is an update on Tom, and I do appreciate him letting us know. I was worried about him, but if we're going to talk about Tom, we can always get back in here with it. It's not as good as our theme song, but it's good. Mike, I told you I would keep it to an hour. It is 2:01 p.m. Eastern time, so I did my best. But we really laughed a lot today, didn't we, Mike? We really dove into some comedy.
We sure did. I think so. Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on.
And if people want more Blind Mike, one place that they'll be able to see it was tomorrow right here on Dabbleverse Live, unless Carl's traveling and not.
Oh, not right here. Actually, it's on my channel.
Oh,
it's always better over there.
You got one job. You got one fucking job.
It alternates every week.
Well, it's me, and it should have been on this channel if it wasn't for Hackamania. But Carl is on assignment this week, so it's me and Cardiff Electric holding down the fort.
Oh, hello.
Yes. Yes. So that'll be great. Your co-host from BTH. I don't. Is that still the name of that show, or is it still work in progress?
There's not officially a name. I think most people are calling it BTH. It seems like that has the most staying power. It hasn't officially been named yet, technically.
And you're gonna enjoy this. This might become new background on this show. Tom Myers lists Blind Mike greater than Carl. So it'll be Carl and Cardiff Electric. Although Tom, I know you're no Cardiff Electric fan. So maybe you won't tune into the show tomorrow, but I appreciate Tom being here and giving us all that insight. But blindmike.net, that's really the place where everybody needs to go. What's been happening lately on Why You Laughing? What's coming up?
We just this morning, we posted the next episode of Why You Laughing that's available for members now. Mitch Hedberg's Mitch Altogether. We did a breakdown of that album. And the one that's premiering tonight for the public is Ari Shafir's This Is Not Happening. He's got a new, The End, his new storytelling show coming out next week. It seems like a great lineup, so I thought it was a good time to go back and look at the history of that show, which it certainly wasn't the most famous show Comedy Central ever did, but I do think the story that he tells about how that show ended is a great glimpse into why Comedy Central now just reruns The Office, Seinfeld, and Friends all day.
Well, they do get Jon Stewart once a week. That's the one thing that they have, and of course South Park. But yeah, no, I know it's a lot of Office, isn't it, over there?
It sure is. Yeah. I did an episode, The Rise and Fall of Comedy Central, a few weeks ago, and I said, whenever you're listening to this, to whatever time of day, wherever you are in the world, turn on Comedy Central And I will bet you that either the Office Friends or Seinfeld is on right now. And I've gotten several messages saying you were absolutely. It's 8:45 in the morning. You were correct.
You're absolutely right. They might do one of those 4-way split screens and just run them all at the same time. Select the audio that you prefer.
Exactly.
Mike, always a pleasure to share the screen with you. Thank you for coming on over here. And I think we've really got everything we could out of those Rob Schneider clips.
Well, thank you for having me, guys. Anytime. I enjoyed doing this.
Absolutely. Well,
You're great, Mike. Thank you.
Thanks again to the great Blind Mike Geary. And we had Blind Mike on the show. We had Tom Myers in the chat. But we're not done, Easy. I get at least 26 more minutes, pretty much exactly 26 more minutes out of you. I think that's the way it works. So we should this is another one of those, though. Boy, I over-prepared. And
wow.
I even split my files. I'm like, okay, a lot of these I'm going to save for next week. No, I still have stuff where
I don't know. Yeah, it's always over prepared, and that's what makes you the special soul that you are.
Well, I wanted to make sure we stayed on topic with Blind Mike, but it is time for politics. So we started the show by talking about how it was April Fool's Day. It was also Easter over the weekend, and it was a wild time at the White House. And we're going to start off where President Trump is, talking about a passage from what I understand is his favorite book, the Bible. And I alluded to it earlier. He doesn't want to talk about his favorite book or favorite passage because it's very personal. He does like both testaments equally. I don't know if you've heard all that, Easy, but he's talking about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Perhaps you've heard of him. Rob Schneider painted him as a murderer a little while ago, but President Trump would do no such thing.
Sunday, Jesus entered Jerusalem as crowds welcomed him with praise, honoring him as king. They call me king now. Do you believe it? No king.
Oh.
I'm such a king, I can't get a ballroom approved.
Oh. He's riffing off of the Bible. He's riffing off of the Bible.
He sure is. I know you didn't see that clip before I just played it. And I think you reacted exactly the way I thought you would. He's like, they call me king. I can't get a ballroom. That's
so fucking fantastic.
It's the same as Jesus, as God giving us his only son who died for our sins and rose again 3 days later. It's exactly the same thing. They had the Easter egg hunt, the Easter egg roll, I think is what they do at the White House. And Trump is sitting with some children. Fortunately, this version of the video does have some closed captioning. We'll clue you into some of the conversation. So he says, I could do autographs for you guys, but then it'll be on eBay for $25,000. He says, I'll sign.
Oh, that's nice. I think I'm going to sign this. That way I say, I drew it. Look,
so he's going to sign his name to it, and then he's going to say, I drew this.
I drew it.
I almost feel like I should just mute the audio. Look what I did, everybody.
They're little kids making pictures, and they make their picture, and then the president signs it for them, and then I mean, it could just end with, here, I signed this, President Trump, happy Easter, and give it to the kids. But it has to, he can't help himself. It has to take a weird direction with children.
It's worth $25,000 on eBay. Right. And, I think that what these kids really want to hear is the sitting president trash his predecessor.
Biden would use the auto pen. He'd have an auto pen follow.
So Biden would use the auto pen, and this little girl says, "What?" Yeah, he'd have the auto pen follow him.
Joe Biden, he didn't sign. He was incapable of signing. He said, so they'd follow him around with this big machine, what it's called? An auto pen.
So he's telling them that they would follow him around with a big machine called the auto pen. I have seen this in action. I did see someone, when I was a White House intern, someone handed something to Al Gore, and he couldn't sign it. They had to, I don't know what the difference is. They had to take it in a back room, and then it came out signed. I don't know what that's all about. I know that this is a thing. But Trump's like, I'll give you my signature. Enjoy.
And he'd have the auto pen signed for him. He'd take the paper, hand it to his guys, sign it with an auto pen, give it back. It's not too good, right?
It's not too good, is it? So
okay.
You think
this is awesome? This is
Well, yeah.
incredible. The fact that look at these kids. Every one of those kids is paying attention to him.
I mean, he's a president. They were told, like,
Yes.
hey, you're going to be sitting with the president. By the way, I don't care what president it is. There's, well, he's 45 and 47. All the ones through my lifetime. If as a kid I got to sit at a table with the president, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Right. I want him to yell, grab him by the pussy in front of these kids.
Well, hey, Billy, when you go back to school, don't
You
do
just
it
gotta
here.
grab him by the pussy.
There's a couple different versions of this. Trump is on the stage, President Trump, with the First Lady, Melania, and a special guest is alongside him while he's talking about military operations in Iran.
We're going to find out, aren't we? But when a thing like that happens where a pilot shot down, in most instances, you're really not able to go in because you'll go in with 200 people and lots of jet fighters and helicopters, and you really don't have a chance.
So our audio audience is like, oh, well, okay, he's just talking about like he usually does. Again, this is an event filled with children. He's talking about a military man being shot down.
Yeah.
And to his left, the right of our screen, he's joined by the Easter Bunny.
Right. This looks like nightmare fuel, like something you would dream, and you would the randomness of the president with the bunny talking about war effort to kids during Easter egg hunt.
For the show that I do with our friend Lucy Typebox, we watched an Easter horror movie called Beaster Day. Here Comes Peter Cottonhell. This is scarier than anything in that movie. So Trump continues to speak with the Easter Bunny next to him. You sent me this. This is a little bit after that, but I love this is a tight shot where they've cut out Melania, and it's just Trump and the Easter Bunny. And the Easter Bunny is you barely reacting, but he is moving. So I think he might be a little uncomfortable.
I don't think it gets much more hostile than Iran. They're capable fighters. They're very tough people. And there are others like that. You don't mind when the enemy is weak, but that enemy is strong. Not so strong like they were about a month ago, I can tell you. In fact, right now, they're not too strong at all, in my opinion, but we're soon going to find out, aren't we?
This is a perfect opportunity for him to not talk about it. For once, he doesn't have to worry about going on and on and on about, whatever the hell is happening over there. He could just say, let's do the egg hunt. Go finger bang Melania. But he can't help himself.
No, he can't. Yeah, it's and he's been saying some wild things lately, but him saying it next to the Easter Bunny is great. Oh, Hamilton Berger wants to know where can we listen to Is It Worth Watching is the radio show that we do. Hamilton Berger, I want there to be like a one-stop shop where you can hear the podcast version of the episodes, but that's still in the works, but we do put the show out every week. I could tell you the station, you can hear it in New Orleans, but I know you don't live there. Why don't you message me and I'll tell you.
Yeah, you know what happened, that what he's saying there is basically they did like a soft open, and when the big grand open hits, then it's gonna take place. Now that's a nice way of saying it.
That's a nice
way
way
I
to
could say Christian jumped the fucking gun when it comes to relaying that the radio show is happening.
Yeah. By the way, it's been happening the whole time. It's just I got greedy when I saw how many people were watching Kevin Brennan stream snipe. I was like, I should probably promote this thing that we're doing. And yes, Eric was very surprised when you called.
I thought we weren't supposed to say anything about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's all right. But I appreciate that, Hamilton Berger. And yes, we, Lucy and I do talk about Beaster Day. Here Comes Peter Cottonhell. All right. Oh my gosh. General Ocean Wolf from the Tukey Taliban became a YouTube member. Thank you for joining. You'll be able to see 2 bonus episodes every single month and watch the show record live on Saturdays. And just a few short hours from now, everyone will be able to tune in on YouTube and watch a special Wednesday, not even special. They're all special is what I mean, but it's always on Wednesday, 5:30 Eastern. Who are these podcasts? And then Hamilton Berger adds a soft open as how easy describes his boners. Sometimes I have these videos and I saw different versions of this all over. I don't know if it's real. I want it to be real. So I'm going to show you Secretary of Defense, or as he's called now, Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, takes to the podium. And look, I don't know if he really farted, but I love it.
Of course he farted.
Well, no,
Somebody farted.
But that audio might have been added after the fact.
I choose not to believe
No,
that.
I don't want to believe that.
No,
I love
I
that
don't.
video.
It didn't happen. There's no way possible that anybody could fake that.
We've alluded to it, and we should talk a little bit about what's going on in Kristi Noem's household. And I went to one of these AI news sources, and it's a good reminder why you shouldn't always rely on these. But let's let them explain it. The first thing they talk about is Brian Noem allegedly paid $25 per minute for webcam. That's exorbitant for a webcam. I know you don't visit webcams.
That's how much I charge.
Oh, that's good. Hey, I love the music though, and his double life has sparked a national debate.
A shocking revelation has put Brian Noem, husband of former DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, in the national spotlight. According to a Daily Mail report, Brian allegedly led a secret life as a crossdresser. Sources describe a hidden alter ego known as a busty bimbo. The report also claims he paid webcam models up to $25 per minute for private chats, sparking questions about how the story came to light. Axios reporter Mark Caputo revealed that he was contacted by someone about Brian's alleged double life. The source is reportedly an immigrant sex worker, possibly in the country illegally.
So if that part's true, that's the best part of the story, is that, his wife is, when she's not allegedly boning Corey Lewandowski,
right.
She's rounding up, the people that Rob Schneider was jerking about. Jerking about? Yeah, sure. Joking about. But it's all right. I think it all works.
Who may have been motivated by grievances over DHS immigration enforcement policies under Kristi Noem's leadership. Caputo notes that while the identity of the whistleblower is unconfirmed, the information appeared credible enough to warrant reporting. The story raises both personal and political questions.
Sure does.
Former President Donald Trump.
So this is when I realized, I should probably not be getting my news from, what is it called? One India, the AI source. It is true that Donald Trump is the former president. However, he is also the current president. It's a pretty easy thing to fact check for AI. And we'll hear how Donald feels about it. The president feels about it in a moment. I wanted to showcase some of the images of him that's online. And I found a collection from this influencer, this content creator. You see this, this person right here.
Sharing these threads that
So this is Cat Black, cat_BLAQUE. And it is the image that I think a lot of us saw in the Daily Mail. I don't know if you have seen the video our buddy Tim Dillon did right after this, but it's amazing. Maybe next week, but
it took a lot out of him physically to have those giant titties on him when he did that show.
I bet. Yeah. I mean, it's tough enough for me to do it with these, so I can only imagine. So so Cat Black here is going to speak a little bit about what we're seeing online from Brian Noem.
I write on threads and they've been doing pretty well. And so if you are interested in them, go click over on my Instagram, but I will read it to you here because a lot of people seemed to appreciate it.
So she's announcing that she's going to read for you her Instagram. Now, I could have just grabbed her Instagram and read it myself, but she's making it easier for me.
All right. I say, of course, Brian Noem is a cross-dressing fetishist who patronized undocumented sex workers. Genuinely one of the least surprising things to me as a transgender woman who spent most of her life around white evangelical Christian men who often privately revealed to me that they cross-dressed.
You're telling me that Cat Black, the content creator, is a transgender woman.
Okay, so born a dude, now a chick.
I color me surprised.
Yes.
I'm shocked to hear that. Next thing you're going to tell me is that Frenchie Hanna is not just a beautiful young lady who enjoys eating donuts and then talking about how good they are. So yeah, this is a wild story about.
It is, but it's beautiful for Brian. I mean, people forget that it just came out that the wife is porking Corey What's-his-face.
Lewandowski, yeah.
Allegedly. I mean, if you're going to be found out, now's the time. All right? I mean, for a lot of reasons. It takes the heat off of her, if that's what you're looking for. Or you can get away with, you can just say when you're behind closed doors, yeah, well, you're porking Corey Lewandowski, so we're even, right?
Yeah. Right. And he said, Brian Nome has said, I'll comment on this, but now's not the time. So, there's no denials. He knows that there's pictures out there. What I find to be interesting is the way that the legacy media is covering it, but specifically the Trump-friendly legacy media. This is from Fox News.
Family tells the Post, as you mentioned, Ms. Nome is devastated. The family blindsided. They're asking for privacy and prayers at this time. For its part, the Daily Mail reports Byron Nome doesn't deny explicit online conversations, but says he never compromised national security.
By the way, I didn't think that for a second until right now when you said that he's had to say he has he was talking to undocumented whores. So
this guy looks like his face looks like I want to eat it. What's going on with him? It looks like chocolate.
It's like somebody shaped an Easter bunny.
Do you remember when Rob Gronkowski smashed the Legos? That's what that's what this looks like.
Yeah.
While his wife served as Homeland Security Secretary. A sad story indeed. Will, back to you.
A literally unbelievable story, Kevin. And it might be worth noting that even though this is April 1st, this is not a joke for April Fools. What a story.
Oh, guy's cheating on his wife. Oh,
the
dear.
That he said that was the only reason I wanted that clip. He's like, I know it's April 1st, but it's I can't wait for that Brian Nome sit down. I'll send an invite. We'd be happy to have him, if he wants to come on this show. I think we would have a very respectful conversation with him. That man is made of milk chocolate. That's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah, thank you.
He looked delicious. Too much matte powder on this news guy, says Dina Marie.
So I'm going to, this just made me laugh so hard when I saw it. I'm going to give credit to Justin Baldaggi on X. And you can read the comment. Says, telling everyone how impressive my first gay bareback orgy was. And there's a video of President Trump embedded on this. Somebody tells me you've seen this. And there's a video of President Trump, and you're like, okay, so what video from President Trump could possibly match telling everyone how impressive my first gay bareback orgy was?
They came in so fast and so hard, and these guys knew exactly what to do. Let's go. Come on, get in. Let's go. Blah. They came one right after another, not at the same time. They don't want to come at the same time. They had to come right after each other. They didn't have any room.
It's just so stupid. It made me laugh so hard. I'm laughing the way Ichi was. So shout out Justin Baldaggi. That actually made me laugh really hard.
So he, Hegseth he was standing right next to him there. You can barely see him. But can you imagine if Hegseth started cracking up and then Trump said, hey, what are you laughing at? And he actually said, it sounds like you're getting fucked in the ass by a lot of guys. Do you think he would fire him right then, or would he because he really counts on that guy?
Yeah, he needs that guy. He's gotten rid of some of the dead weight around there lately.
And didn't he got rid of what the fuck? Pam Bondi fired it. Get the fuck out of here.
Easy, as I was saying, of course, I'm always over prepared for this show. I had an entire sports segment that I had prepared for when I went to bed last night. And then I saw two amazing videos this morning. And that means that it is time to get over to sports.
Who are these sports? You know what I'm saying? Who are these sports? Let's see who's playing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, I don't know what's society.
And Chad's missing upper lip is always critical of the number of baseball clips we play on here. But Chad's missing upper lip, I think you might enjoy a good old-fashioned baseball brawl. This happened fairly late Eastern time. It was probably around midnight. The Braves were here in Southern California playing the Angels, and there was definitely a throwdown. I want to show you the replay first. This is from the Angels broadcast.
Soler took a couple of steps. Lopez said, well, come get me. And it was on. And the Dukes were flying.
There's some serious haymakers there, too.
Right on.
So
The best part of that was the pitcher.
Yeah.
Well, were you going to talk about him having the ball?
Oh,
in his hand?
yeah. So this is what they're looking at after the fact, like immediately after. So then here's the Braves coverage, and the pitcher's there just like, what? You got a problem with me? And I guess the batter Soler had gotten a couple high and tight pitches after hitting a home run. So I think he'd had enough. And this is, again, a slightly different version of what we just saw.
Yeah, look at all the time that evaporated.
So they're just staring each other down. Yep.
Yeah, hard to see whether or not.
And there he goes.
It said something to him.
Okay.
Yep.
Nope.
And
Okay,
these are all wide shots.
Good job by the Braves to get in there as quickly as possible.
My favorite thing about baseball fights is when the bullpens start to empty out. Like those guys, the amount of time it's going to take them to get there, they'll never make it. But we can read his lips. He's not even swearing. He's just like, "What's your problem?
As well.
Come after me." Or
Mike
whatever.
Trout does a nice job of stepping in.
Yeah, let's go.
You had a long stare that Ronaldo Lopez took exception to.
Yeah.
Did he hit him in the face with that ball? I think he whipped the ball right in his face from like 2 feet away.
We, in fact, do have a vantage point that shows that. This is amazing because this is what happens when you have 20 cameras in the ballpark and you're like, oh wait, everything interesting is happening right
I hope
here.
he hit him right in the eye.
See, Lopez had the ball in his hand and hit Soler right in the side of the helmet.
I've seen a lot of baseball fights. I've never seen a player just with the ball punch him right in the face.
I thought he threw it and it actually left his hand, but no, he used it like a medieval weapon.
Yeah, like you would pick up a paperweight and smash your boss in the head. Yeah. Yeah. And,
as far as the bullpens, why don't the bullpens just, instead of being late to the party, just immediately attack one another in the bullpen?
Well, you can't be shown just sitting there. So you're like, all right, we're going to run in, but we're not even going to get any.
Yeah, they should like, have a separate war going on, like a sidebar brawl. And then the guys that started the first one, they have to run to the bullpen.
Oh, so you want the fight to happen in the bullpen.
Right. And then they merge like two storm fronts and it turns into a huge catastrophe.
So that is probably my favorite video is of all of this is him getting punched in the face, Soler. But this is how it happened live as it was unfolding. This is the Anaheim broadcast. They were showing a replay when it started. So they jump right into it.
Lopez, they square up, and Soler and Lopez are throwing haymakers. They're going after each other. Soler is finally tackled from behind as the Angels and Braves are all out onto the field.
The calm analysis for the replay, I give an F- to, but the lead TV analyst Wayne Randazzo just getting so excited talking about this like it's a 10-round fight with Muhammad Ali
because it's awesome.
A+, this is amazing.
Yeah,
that came up out of nowhere.
Thank God it
Soler
did.
was upset after a couple
Here
of
they
pitches
come.
were high and in after he hit yet another homer off Lopez.
By the way, you've got the manager of the Braves and one of their star players grabbing Soler and like kind of lifting him. Like this is going to be really bad.
And a fight broke out.
Fuck you,
just
Joe
out of
Boo.
thin air.
Hats for bats.
When you see that baseball being thrown that far again, we talked about success against them.
And when he finally comes out of the game, the Soler, the batter, the crowd there applauds. Standing O for all that. Carl's Frosted Tips, KFT. Eric, you're still alive. Good for you, buddy. Where else would you be?
I'm not sure what that means, but thank you for the $1.99.
So the other video, I'm going to post it on my social media at Christian DMZ because I'm not going to lie. The best part I have to take out. So there's a foul ball into the stands. This is in Tampa, I think. This is between the Cubs and the Rays. And we'll show the progression of what happens.
Fly ball down the right side, and it'll twist off foul.
Okay. So towards the right of the screen, you see a very large gentleman. He has on a pair of shorts and a big gray t-shirt. So you now see this guy. What I can't show is the few seconds after this. Right. I have covered up his San Andreas fault size ass crack that is clearly on display.
His whole ass. I mean, it made mine look like it was covered.
Oh, yeah. No,
I mean, and he's the type of fat that crack goes up to like the back of his neck. Like his ass is his whole backside.
Yes, exactly. And so what we have to do now is then pick up the video after that moment. So I can't show you the best part. And I know it's stupid, but I want everybody to know how funny it is that we get one comment from the broadcast booth. And then we'll see what happens.
Fly ball down the right side.
Well, I think I was an idiot here, and I'm just showing the same clip again. So
I've done that.
Yeah,
that's always a bad feeling. When you're like, oh shit, what the fuck am I?
It's okay. No, I talked up the record properly. Yeah. But so now this is after the freeze frame that I showed. So he's on the ground. His ass is covered.
Right.
But we all saw it, and I mean, magnificent's not the word. Haunting.
And if you look in the background, you see all those people laughing. That one lady's mouth is open. Yeah. They're all disgusted at this pig.
Yeah. And so we're going to hear what the broadcast booth says right after they see that clearly on display.
Ooh. Everybody okay down there?
Good question. Everybody okay down there? And then what do we hear from the booth right now?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I wish there was one of those booth cams that they could post on the internet so we could hear what they're saying right now. Try to hear how hard they're laughing. They probably can't breathe after that guy's crash. Still silence.
The catcher's challenge is called.
And then they do the ABS touch the hat.
They're out. These two.
Pitches the ball, Tampa Bay has one remaining.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
So then there's a sponsor
then they just
involved.
pick it up.
So that they just like it never happened. And I want everybody to see the clip. I think clearly you were describing this guy's ass. And if I could show it to you, I would. I'm going to do a whole folder for the next time we do the show on Rumble. And,
right.
It'll
be the Rumble ass crack show. Yeah. And we're happy to do that. So that'll probably be next. It happens randomly. You get 1 second before we start this show, we'll get a text from Carl saying, I don't know what happened, but you're on Rumble. And then he won't even explain it.
It could be as simple as I text Carl and I'm like, hey, it won't go live. What's wrong? And he's like,
whatever. I don't care about you anymore.
No, I don't think he would ever say
I don't care about the channel that you guys built.
No, I don't think he would ever say that. But that is our show. I do hope to see as many of you as possible this weekend at Hackamania. Please come and say hi. I am definitely fairly awkward in person, but it is always great to interact with people who actually like the show. I'll talk to people who hate the show, but I'm not going to lie. It's fun. Yeah. It's way more fun.
Can you get footage of people who hate me? And can you get that? And then we can play it back and laugh. I would love that.
I think Dame Taft and the One Pun would be happy because I know I'll see them both.
You have those fucks say something, and we'll do a whole show on reviewing these mongoloids talking terrible things about me.
So I'll be found at Hackamania, but Eric Zane, where can you be found?
Well, every day I'm on Twitch, Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern, Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And the audio of that, becomes my show, my podcast on iTunes, not iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. So if you just search my name on any of those platforms, you'll find me on Twitch at Eric Zane Live. So get in there and say nasty shit about me.
And check out my personal podcast, The Blackcast, BLADTCAST, including last week's episode about weapons that I did with my buddy Eric Zane, and of course the delightful Lucy Typebox.
I love her.
Also
oh my God.
Yeah.
I love her so
and
much.
Hulkamania, great to see you, sir. Blind Mike was a treat. It's always fun to have him on the show. It's we're only better for having somebody of that caliber of talent slum it on this show. So we very much appreciate it. Now, I know there's some confusion, and it's because of me, but we will be back on Tuesday next week, unless John Lovitz wants to have lunch with me. But you know what? I'll tell Lovitz we'll do it another day.
Were you with Lovitz? And
No, that's a different. No, I just it's the other name I can never.
He's your other friend, John Lovitz?
I might know Lovitz a little bit.
Who do you hang with more, Dennis or John?
Definitely Dennis. Yeah.
Okay.
Lovitz is a once in a while thing. Yeah. But love Lovitz. They're both great. And but it's nowhere near as much fun as hanging out with me at Hackamania in Las Vegas. So
right on.
Say hi. And we will be back next Tuesday. So I think we had 2 $5 chats. So I'm gonna read them both. This is your buddy. So as always, this is Christian Bladt reminding you every mic is a hot mic, but can EZ ban chatters on this channel asking for a friend? And from the Great American Cupcake, Rob, I paid full price for this ticket to laugh, not be lectured to. Every person in the crowd, also Christian, see you this weekend. Hashtag Hackamania. Yes, can't wait to see everybody there. And all of you next week, next Tuesday, right back here